let's find out what I did to put Wayne Dyer's words into action. I thought, how am I going to see things differently? So I took a piece of paper, made a grid, and I went back to basics. What did I have? What did I need? What could I control? What could I not control? Now, this paper was daunting, let me tell you. So I went piece by piece. What did I have? I had physiology. Now, this is going to sound counterintuitive. Was I falling apart? Yes. Was I a shell of what I was before? Yes. But why was that? It was because my physiology was working like it was designed. It was because I was taking in stimulus that represented uncertainty, fear, the unknown, failure. My brain was processing this fear and uncertainty and translating it into my physical body, which meant my brain and my body were working in perfect order. And I had this magnificent piece of machinery at my discretion. In addition, I had education. I had studied in private schools all my life, private college. I had graduated valedictorian. None of it, mind you, recognized in the US. But I needed to recognize it because the facts were irrefutable. I also had humility. The princess learned how to ask for help. In addition to this, I was a jack of all trades. What? She's a master of none? She has no specialty? But I look at it differently. I work great in the negative spaces of a picture because when I was a jack of all trades, that meant that there was nothing that I could not do. Now, I had one square filled out. What did I need? I needed money. No problem. I was a jack of all trades, and I had humility. There was no job I could not do, and no job was too big or too small. I also needed mastery. Anywhere there was a course offered, I was there. All I asked was that they would give me my completion on paper, so that I would have a certificate or a letter saying, she does know this. I also needed a multitude. I was a one-man show. I needed a village. And so I started to volunteer. I met some of the best people who shared my values, who would step into the gap if I was sick or if I was at a job interview. And I also bartered. I would be a camp counselor if you would let my son go to summer camp free of charge. I just didn't have the money. And I needed my mind. Remember, I was still picking up pieces of shattered self, and I had no discretionary income. So I started at the local church. But this was all a heavy lift, and I needed motivation. And I can sum up my motivation in one sentence. From now on, I was going to own change before change ever owned me. 2 squares down, out of all that I had collected now, what could I control? I controlled myself. Who I was, what I was going to do, when I was going to do it, how I was going to do it. It was all mine, and nobody would have a say in it. And I controlled the processes. My game plan, how I would create it and how I would execute it, was mine. This is a very empowering thought. And what could I not control? This was simple. I could not control others. What they thought of me, how they perceived me, was not my business. And I never attached myself to the outcomes. I started to spell the word no with an O and a K. If something didn't work out, my favorite word was next. Now when I step back, my cup was flowing over. And I had direction. Remember, nothing had changed. I had just changed the way I was looking at it. And so it is for any situation, whether it's personal or at work. The issue may be different, the circumstances may be different, the project at hand may be different, but the process to get to the first step is the same. Take a step back, find out what you have, how you can leverage it, find out what you need and how you will get it, find out what you can and cannot control, and don't spend a minute, an iota of your energy, time, sentiments on things you cannot control. Put it all into the column that you can. That done, it is a winning strategy to meet the moment of change every single time. With that, ladies and gentlemen, it has been my great honor and my privilege to share this story with you. Please know, this may be a virtual platform, but it is my hope that our paths will cross in person again soon. Until then,